I can't hit record.
I already hit record. I'm just doing
Oh,
this
did
for
you?
fun.
Okay. I can't. I was
This
almost
is.
hit stop record. That's funny.
Did you want to start again?
No, we're good. You can go. It's gonna be the most awkward
I was just like,
podcast
you're,
ever.
you're
Go for
sitting
it.
there like,
No, it's
and I'm
it.
just,
We'll do it live.
hello everyone. It's episode
Yeah.
number 74, Sprangboro Sessions. Today's February 6th, 2022. It is a beautiful snowy filled day out there. I'm sure you guys got kind of like, a lot of people got pounded.
Mm-hmm.
TJ.
I don't like to use the word pounded, but yeah.
Oh, you guys got the full. You guys got the full.
We don't get the full shaft.
Yeah, you got the whole hand. You know what I'm saying? Fist or
And then
whatever.
some, and its buddies.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but wait, there's
Invited
more.
over the neighbor. Invited over the neighborhood. Shit.
That's right. That's right.
With like a Riley Reid video.
That's funny. How have you been, sir?
Oh, I've been better. Now I'm great, but rough
we
rough
missed
couple
you.
months. Oh, thank you. I missed you guys too. Yeah, it was a rough little patch there. Got sick a few times. Got a middle ear infection. Like no COVID, thank God. But yeah, I got knocked on my ass. Apparently,
Just
like
jump
2
in,
years.
bro. The water's warm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite a little roller coaster of a ride there. But that's life. It happens. But yeah, doing better now. Got my with my diet and my little chest cold, I say. But I was like 4 or 5, almost 5 days out work. I got my weight down to 168, my friend. I'm like, yeah, boy.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. But,
I see that mustache is in the goatee. There has been, the
I cut it back a little bit.
Since you lost a little bit of weight, you can see, it look.
Oh yeah, a little chin action there.
Looks a little more defined, which is fine. It's like true love. It's hard, define.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, that's coming up here, Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Okay, so that's awkward. Let's move past that.
Wishing everybody out there a happy Valentine's Day.
Let's not forget the important part of what's always at Valentine's Day area. My birthday. And my brother's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, that is the important facts of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I'll be taking my date out to Valentine's dinner before we. Sorry.
We're just gonna go to we're gonna go to a fast food restaurant.
We're gonna go to a movie.
Yeah, VR. VR movie. Oh man, TJ, so good to see you, friend.
You too, man. You too.
So, what up?
Tell the folks I haven't been here so long. I'm assuming you've talked about the VR experience and all that stuff with everybody.
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. How's it going still? Pretty good. I see videos of you dancing and swinging around.
Okay. Only because you asked me, now I'm going to tell you the answer. So, I get it. I got that TikTok. I made a TikTok. You can find me there. TikTok. That's Sprangboro. And so I had received a video of me doing like the video game. It's called Creed.
Beat Saber? Oh, Creed.
So I play a lot of Beat Saber when I play. Actually, when I was on, I'll get to all of that. But so this game Creed, it's a boxing game, and it is very, very, very intense. It is a workout. You're sitting there like you're going, like you're throwing down like you're in a boxing ring with someone. This dude, he's like this tall probably. He's got like, he's like super ripped, and then he's like trying to take your freaking head off. What's up, Olivia?
Nothing.
Dad's girl. But yeah, so I put a video up on TikTok with the Rocky soundtrack.
Yep.
Was it Eye of the Tiger or whatever?
Yep.
So, as you and I both have experienced through YouTube and all the other ones, what you deal with is what? Copyright. Because
Hmm.
of copyrighted material. We've
Yeah.
discussed it on this podcast several times. It's so very
Yeah.
important. You don't want to put things out there that are not yours. And if not, then you have to put, like, I do not own the rights to this song, blah, 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 blah. Long
Hmm.
story short, I make a TikTok like everyone else. I put it up with the Rocky theme song. No problem. I post it to TikTok. Bam! I'm getting views all over the place.
Hmm.
I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this up on my Instagram and my Facebook as well. So I paste the TikTok, or I pay or put I uploaded the video to Instagram, and they told me, like, I got a email from them that they were not going to display it, like how it got pulled from a bunch of like ways I can be found with it.
Hmm.
It was very weird to me. I'm just trying to see here. See if it's I should be right here if I still have it. Oh yeah. So Instagram sends me this email. It says we removed your video. It says because it included the following content. What am I expecting? Bam!
The Rocky
I
theme
didn't
song.
say the Rocky theme song.
Hmm.
Nope. Nope. I get busted for EFN Moscow 3. Zamagala versus Dolchin. So the way I was fighting is
Hmm.
copyrighted. The way I was writing, or the way I was fighting, like they hit me with copyright because of that.
Yeah, dude, like a professional, you should get into that kind of fighting.
I'm like, dude, I must have been whooping that
Dude,
ass.
I'm official. They're like, we can't put this up. It's too violent.
No, they're like, man,
You're too close. You're too close. Your fighting style is too close to what this is. We can't put this up.
I like that is my interpretation of this email.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it says EFN
That's
Moscow
hilarious.
3, and I used the Rocky theme song. You know, the one on
Yep.
TikTok, whatever. I should have put, and I didn't think until after I got dinged. I'm like, whenever I do those on the other platforms, I should include the I do not own the rights to this, or use it, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah,
Yep.
I'm like EFN Moscow 3, Zunga blah versus Dolchin. I'm like, did they really hit me for a copyright because of the way I was fighting, like punching?
That's fucking hilarious. Oh my
So
god, dude. I was
so
just trying to look up what that EFN Moscow 3 is.
yeah, let me know. Uh, ironically, I didn't look it up because it's been a very busy weekend, very
Yeah, yeah.
busy weekend for me.
I can't find anything on it.
Neither could I. Like, I mean, I haven't gone to look, but it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, what is that? But
Or
they,
look
but
too.
they
I
hit
like
me.
to searching deep.
So they had like this long list of all these countries they won't play the video in, and blah 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 blah. Like, I'm like, the shit over.
Oh, you know what it might be is
Tell
that
me,
the type of because you it's simulating
fighting.
fighting
It could be
that
that. That would.
that's might be what it is. Is that because you're simulating a fighting thing? A certain countries, probably China would be one of them, where they have some harsh restrictions on what can be displayed.
Right,
Again,
except
it goes
for
to censorship. It goes to
I
censorship.
would agree with that statement because that makes a lot of sense. The only thing is like I said, they hit it for a specific fight.
Hmm.
That's where I like if it was just like if
Yeah.
it said like content or this type of content is not displayed in other countries. Okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
I would understand, but it literally listed this as a fight.
Hmm.
I was just like, I look at my
No.
phone. I tell my wife, I'm just like, yeah. So they hit, they hit me for one of them thing. It just said that it was removed. I'm like,
Was it a blanket ban, like a blanket stop? They're not going to post it at all, or is it just in certain areas?
well, that I thought it was going to be completely removed, but I mean I haven't really gone to look and see if it's
No,
still
I
there or
did see
not.
it on your. I think I did see it on your Instagram.
Well, because here's the thing though, is I posted it. Like if you make a video on TikTok, you can click this button. It automatically upload the video to Instagram. So then when
Okay.
you're in Instagram, you can tell it to automatically upload into YouTube.
Mhm.
So you're like going one to one, 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 whatever. So the only problem with doing the TikToks and stuff like that is like the way that they're displayed when you're on TikTok and
Mhm.
as a video itself, they look great. When you go through Instagram, they do that automatic zoom in thing. Then you zoom it out, and it still chops part of the video. So
Okay.
I haven't really been doing that. So, but when I posted it, it posted the actual video to
Okay.
Instagram. I had it up maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. But and then I'm like, you know what? Then I realized like I'm trying to keep track of my counter. So I
Mhm.
deleted it off of there.
Mhm.
And then I put the TikTok link up with the
Gotcha.
actual link.
Trying to drive traffic to the TikTok.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was the very first one that I had deleted because it would have uploaded it as a video itself and not just the video being displayed through. I don't know. I don't know.
Mhm.
And I obviously haven't really gotten that in depth, but I just looked and I just started laughing. And I told the wife, I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, that's funny. So, but yeah, so in the VR world, I haven't been playing much this weekend because it's been a jam packed weekend for this
Yeah.
guy. But and like last weekend, I was out of town for work and stuff, and it's just like,
Mhm.
it's just been busy like everyone else. But when I was out of town for work, I took my Oculus with me, and
Yep.
we got Olivia an Oculus. And while I was in the hotel every evening, I was playing Beat Saber against my daughter. Most times she was beating me in the game, So that was really cool, the experience of being able
Awesome.
to do that. And playing, that Creed, I'm like, all right, do I pull the trigger? Do I spend the 20, $30 and buy the
Mhm.
game? Eventually. But right now, I mean, I've definitely got my money out of Beat Saber. That game was
Yeah.
like $30.
Mhm.
Well worth it. Then I bought a
Yeah.
music pack on it. It was like $13 more or something for a bunch of,
Mhm.
a handful of songs from Imagine Dragons because my niece,
Yeah.
her and her husband had bought it and have it. So I bought it so that way when we played against each other, we would be able
You
to,
could have the same songs and all that.
yeah. Because
That's
it's
cool, man.
it's awesome that you can do that.
Yeah.
You can have up to like 5 players or something in a private lobby on Beat Saber, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that game's fun. So much fun.
I was gonna get the Oculus, but I don't have the room in here to play it, so I'm just gonna wait till well, which one?
You would be surprised at how much room you need.
I literally, in order for me to watch TV, I need to move this chair over, and it barely gets past my TV.
Right.
This room is tiny, tiny.
I
I
pl-
don't.
I play Beat Saber sitting in this chair a lot.
Oh, really? Oh. Hmm.
Only,
Well, maybe I will.
this gaming room. I mean, you know how big it is. It's
Hmm.
not very big.
Yeah.
So like, if you look at some of those videos I made,
Hmm.
so this room is what, like 10 foot or something. So the kid's
Yeah.
usually sitting right here,
Yeah.
and I'm like right here doing everything. So that's
Got.
like a 3 foot circle. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
might have. I might have that space.
I'm not trying to
I'm
not.
gonna move.
I mean, you got to do. You
I
got to
do.
do
I do. I
what's
do
good.
want it. I also. It's also a fact of how often am I going to play it right
Correct.
now.
Life's going on.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
I just want
I
you to
haven't
know
even.
about the distance of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That.
Like,
That's good though. Maybe I
yeah.
will. Maybe I will buy it. Who knows?
Um,
We'll see.
but yes, no, it's really cool. And actually, a lot of times that I'm using my VR anymore.
Mhm.
A lot of times I am just sitting like in my computer
That's it.
chair,
Yeah.
watching. Actually, lately I've been I've been sitting on my exercise bike while I've been doing it.
Oh, no.
Because you can do anything in the VR. So you're like sitting there, you're just running. You're not even paying attention to what's going on around you because all you see is what's in your headset.
Mhm.
And I find it's best, obviously, to have my headphones plugged in,
Uh-huh.
because the bike kind of gets loud at times.
Yeah.
So even though having the headset volume up is good, I still think it's better with the headphones on. And Olivia, she went and she did that too. She's exercised with her VR headset on it.
Mhm.
Did you have fun doing that?
No,
No.
no,
Why? Because you're riding the exercise bike, or
no.
was it just a headset?
It was like I couldn't. I was trying to do YouTube VR, but it wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Is it still not working?
I don't know.
Like, does it normally work, and it just wasn't that day?
No, that was the first time I ever used it.
Oh, so that's
Oh.
probably why you just had to have Dad help you figure it out, sort it out. Gotcha. Well, we can definitely do that later. What's up? So you got them all? No, you got what? 3 more? 2 more?
3.
3 more. All right. You're doing an awesome job. She's filling out her Valentine's Day cards for school because this year they're allowed to do that again.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, with the VR headset, it is pretty cool because I watch Netflix on there, or I'll watch because I think they have Netflix and they have like Amazon Prime. They have a Amazon movie or video or
Oh,
Amazon
yeah.
Video. They have an app for that, but everything else you got to do actually on the internet browser.
Uh,
So you'll have to go, like for me to watch like HBO Max or one of them, I'd have to actually go
Go
to the
through the browser.
website and stuff, I think. But the web
Oh, not bad.
browser, but the web browser on that thing, dude, it runs like Chrome. Like that thing is
Yeah.
solid. Like
Butterly smooth.
yeah, like it's pretty cool. They have this. I was gonna do this on my VR podcast, but I'll do it now. So you can buy a cadence sensor. It's
Hmm.
like not very big. Yeah, it's what it's called is cadence,
Hmm.
CADENCE or DNC, whatever. Google it.
Yeah.
So it's a cadence sensor and it's Bluetooth. So what it's for is you put it on your bike, and
Hmm.
then it keeps track of like you attach it to like the pedal or
Hmm.
something like that, so it'll keep track of all your rotations and things. So you can connect your Fit watch or your
Oh, okay.
Android phone or your iOS or whatever phone to that. So while you're actually doing it, it actually keeps track of
Recording your
your
stuff.
miles, just everything, just get a lot more
Hmm.
information. But now the benefit of that with the VR is you can connect it with Bluetooth, so you can connect it to your VR headset. Now,
Oh, yes.
with your VR headset, you take they have like different apps, their games or whatever you want to call them, their apps. They have like you know a handful of decent ones, but they pretty much all of them, well, at least the most notable ones, you connect with Google Maps, so you can like literally ride the road of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
dude.
actually like ride like you're riding Google Maps.
Yeah,
Pretty
like
sweet. Yeah, I was telling you should ride by my house.
I'm like, dude, how cool is that? And then, those cadence sensors. I was looking. They, people are like, oh, you don't need to get a Garmin one. But even a Garmin is an expensive one, and it's like
Mhm.
$35. You can buy a cheap knockoff brand one for like 15, $16.
Yeah.
Which is super cheap, with any of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's pretty much, the latest of what's been going on in my little VR world. I just,
That's awesome.
you know me, I dive in.
Hmm.
What's up, kid?
Yeah.
I made
That's
one
awesome.
for my teacher.
Oh, that's very sweet. You're so sweet. Um, she's missed her dad all weekend.
I bet.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. It was
awesome, though.
a pretty busy weekend. I don't know what that is, but it's driving me nuts. Um, yeah, Friday I went and watched a buddy of mine's. Well, I'm trying to think of how to break this down so it doesn't get too complicated. You know how us country folk are. Uh, so one of my friends, he invited me to come watch his dad's band play.
Hmm.
So I went Friday night and watched their dad's band play, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Rock Avenue, oh my goodness, they played a lot of oldies and stuff from like the 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s, like they just played different songs than a lot of bands, especially around this area, play.
Mhm.
Like they play Wipeout, and they play,
Wow.
a lot of like just a lot of good songs, man. They were awesome, and I asked the guys, about setting up sometime here this year, doing a podcast with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, to the gentlemen of Rock Avenues, thank you very much for the hospitality. Thanks for putting on a great show. I was definitely glad I got to check them out, and can't wait to see what the future holds for all of them.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and then Saturday I went and jammed with my old band called Just Circle Yes.
Circle, yes, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Awesome.
Whew. That
How was
was
that?
that was a very humbling day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we realized that we haven't done it in so long that we all
Hmm.
kind of looked at each other. We're like, man, I don't even know if I can do that anymore.
That was a little rough.
We're like, man, we used to do that. We wrote that. I'm like, the whole time I'm listening, I'm like, y'all some bad motherfuckers, I'm like, you guys, it's like, wow, you guys are crazy. I'm like, you guys' talent is so amazing. It amazes me. Hearing listening to it now, what, 8, 9 years later, something stupid. Like, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I know I bought my house in 16, and it
Hmm.
was before that. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while, truly,
Hmm.
and it was an honor to be there, jamming with those guys. Um, again, again, just very humbling,
Hmm.
because we were all in kind of the same, just looking at each other, and we're all like the old days. They're figuring something out, and everybody's pounding and high fives, and give me the knucks, and then of course me, I'm like, put her there, pal. And they all, I'm like, don't we do that?
No, don't do that anymore.
Well, this is awkward. Yeah, like, come on, bud. Yeah, yeah,
Give me the old elbow. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Lobo. Anyway,
Lobo, yeah, yeah.
um,
Lobo. Oh, God.
nailed it. Um,
Uh,
yes, sir. It was funny as hell. A lot going on for Joe Rogan. Oh my gosh, you see all that? I'm sure.
yeah.
Wow, misinformation. They, you know,
Yeah, the White House even commented on it with some stupid reporter there trying to get his face out on the news. So he asked about the Joe Rogan podcast and what their thoughts and stuff were on it and all this. It's like, dude, there's so many other things going on in the world right now, with Russia and the wars and setting up for war and the kids that are starving all over the place, and these I forget where it was. There was a group of kids, people, a group of people that are basically going to starve, um, you know, and with Russia trying to make it so that they don't want anybody to join the NATO anymore. They're like, we don't want you guys to accept any more new members to NATO, um, and all that. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and it's like that's really your focus is a podcaster. I know he's the biggest podcast in the world, but I mean,
there's
he's
just
not.
other things that they could be focusing that much
Yeah,
energy on.
and the thing is like the people he's having on there aren't like spooks or conspiracy theorists. He's having legitimate scientists and doctors on there that have been published and all this. And these people are, some of these people are like, oh, well, you got to follow the science. Well, these guys are published scientists and, they're doctors and all this. And you're telling me that, okay, you can't listen to them, but you can listen to these other ones. Why? What's the difference? You know what I mean? Like it's getting ridiculous. Just frustrating to see all that going on.
Well, especially like I mean, I'm not gonna judge like Neil Young and all these people of
No, yeah.
what they're all trying to do. Like they are obligated to also demonstrate their feelings,
Yeah,
and I understand that, and the ironic thing about it is for me is that you look at when he posted the apology or whatever out there or to clear the air with it.
oh, Rogan,
Rogan, he said, Neil Young, he says, he was talking
big
about,
fan.
yeah, he's like, I like him very much and I'm very,
Yeah, he talked about the concert he went to.
yeah, and it's just like, he's
Where he was
like,
working at.
it's a bummer that it's got to be like that, but, he's not going to think any differently of him.
Yeah.
And then people started freaking out, like, because I get all those random updates and random emails from because I have like 3 news apps on my phone because why not?
Yeah.
It's cool, right?
Why not flood your news feed with depression?
Yeah, why not make your day crap? But they were saying how somebody was like, well, usually they post like 4 videos a week or something like that on the Rogan, and they're like, it's been quiet for days now, and then all of a sudden it finally hit the my feed, at least here in the last day or two, that apparently there was videos where he was talking and used the N-word in context or whatever, and somebody made a compilation video basically of all of him using it and doing all this, and I'm just like, wow. So
I hadn't seen that.
yeah. So they went back through and he took down 70 episodes in regards to these type of comments, and like, dude, you'll probably want to see. I'm sure you'll see it if you haven't seen it yet. But like, that's probably hot up the press. Like, I think they said maybe it was. I know it was very like.
Oh, that's what they were talking about when they were trying to call him a racist.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah, because one of the ladies that was canceling her stuff or whatever was just like, I'm not, and it's not even over the opinions of COVID. It's just the way he talks about this, that, and she feels about his opinions on like the racism or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he was MIA for a while, and then then he posted a video apologizing, and something that I thought was really crazy and really awesome for people to see, like that, to do that and to put that out there. Dude, that's got to be very humbling. I'm sorry, like people make mistakes, I get it, and that's very humbling. And
he's seen his apology video. I just saw the one where he was talking about the COVID stuff.
Yeah, wait till you see it. I'm not even gonna spoiler alert it yet. We'll just let you watch it.
I haven't seen that. I've been, like I said, I've been working on stuff.
So yeah, it was just it was very recent, like in the last 2 days, 3 days maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
But so now I know why he was off air for the week or whatever, and I think it's just very people want change. Oh, well, you know what? We're getting there one person, one step at a time. But then you'll see people that'll be like even with the whole Morgan Wallen thing, a lot of people are still freaking out because he ended up playing the Grand Ole Opry with he went with Ernest or something like that, and then he's paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to all these black groups. And he is definitely at least doing his best attempt to publicly make amends for it.
Yeah,
and people are still like, and people are still, they're still rambunctious about it. Like, I see so many people talk about it, like on online and just things, and they're freaking out over it. Okay, I'm just like, wow. Like when they want it to get better, but when is it going to be a point where it's like, okay, at least he's trying? Like, I don't know.
That's what I was just going to say is that it's a lot of this noise that you hear about this. I don't want to downplay it because racism is real. There are racist people out there.
I'm all about ending racism as well.
And it's not even racism. It's just ending intolerance. Let's just blanket statement call what it is. Call it what it is. Racism. Homophobia. Transphobia. All this kind of stuff. Is intolerance. And it's in a blanket statement. Okay, is basically what it is. boils down to it at its core. And the intolerance, the people that are loudest about this intolerance, most of them don't. I don't want. I shouldn't say this, but in my opinion, most of them are doing it to get their faces. They're getting their face. They're trying to get their name out there and get their rejuvenate their image. You
Right,
know,
their brand, if you will.
to a new audience.
To be
Maybe
relevant.
not even doing it just for that, but most of these people you never hear from. You know, these artists. Only artist I knew out of all the artists so far, or most of the artists so far that have gotten behind the Joe Rogan bandwagon, banning Joe Rogan, I should say, have been artists that I've never heard of. And I have a pretty, you know me, I have a pretty wide spectrum of music that I listen to. Like people at work, they get not aggravated, but they just kind of laugh because every song that comes on that they're playing, no matter what genre, I know. I don't know who sings it. I don't know the name of the song, but I know almost all the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It's just something that when I hear a song with a good beat, I can usually figure out the song in a couple of loops. But I'll learn it pretty quick. And so to be able to hear who these artists are and listen to their music, like I looked up a couple of them. I'm like, all right, their music's it's not something I listen to on the regular. Not something that kind of grabs me, you know. But it just was funny that like these people that are speaking up, I want to take my music off of Spotify. Okay, do it. That's your right. It's your music. Do that. But most of these people were fighting for in the 60s and 70s. They were fighting the government for free speech. They were
Right.
talking about all this other stuff, and now
Especially Neil Young.
Neil Young, like Neil Young's like music. His whole generation of music was about
exactly that.
Anti-government and all this. So it's just funny and ironic that unless they take him down, really, dude, really. I understand you grow and you change as you get older, but you don't see the implications of what you're proposing as far as what's going to happen down the line, because it doesn't just you can't cherry pick when you get the government involved. You can't cherry pick what they're going to censor, or you know what I mean, what they're going to make, they're not going to go, okay, we'll stop here. I mean, look at and I say this comparison a lot because it's true. And a lot of people are like, well, it's a conspiracy. Well, what's his name there? The dude who exposed the 9/11 bills that were passed. What is it called? Shit, I can't remember the name. I'm so stupid. People, just so you know, I'm the dumbest person out there to articulate any type of thoughts. But they passed a bill after 9/11 to basically Homeland Security, basically to give a blanket coverage, a blank check to the government to do whatever they needed to do to stop terrorists and this kind of thing from happening again. So what did they do? They recorded every single phone call, text message, and an email of every single U.S. citizen and anything that came into their stuff without their knowledge, without their permission. Okay, because this little bill that was in, because this little stuff that was in there that was Edward Snowden. Thank you. That's what his name was. So he exposed all that, and people were like, "No, that's just a conspiracy theory." Now it's finding out it's true. And as again, you can't give the government just, okay, we don't want this kind of thing yet, so monitor the terrorists. No, they monitor everybody. Same thing with censorship. They're not just going to censor the people you don't like. Eventually, they're going to come back to you, and they're going to say, yeah, you know what, we don't like what you're saying now. So as soon as you disagree with them, they're going to censor you. And guess what? You're going to get kicked off the same platforms that you wanted somebody that you don't like to get kicked off the platform. So just be careful. Be careful what you put out there, because you're looking at your feelings now about what this person's saying on this podcast, and you're mad and you're steaming. And I support you being upset and all that about it. But there's a simple solution. You go to the little X up in the right-hand corner, you click the X, and it closes out that window. And you don't have to listen to it.
That little bell that looks like a notification symbol, you
unclick it,
that.
Unsubscribe. I just unsubscribed from a YouTuber that I listen to on YouTube, because you know what? His opinions and things and the way he talks and does the news has changed. I've changed what I listen to and stuff, and he's going in a different direction than I like. I didn't post a nasty comment to him and say, you've changed and you suck and and I'm angry and I want to cancel you because you don't agree with what I agree with. No. So what did I do? I unsubscribed. I still get his videos in my feed, though, for whatever reason, so I gotta fucking unwant. But you could do that. It's very simple. There's a lot of content on the internet. You don't have to listen to it, okay? And I understand you think misinformation. Really, you think the people that are going to the doctors, okay, are treating they're treating COVID. You think they're going to their doctors and going, yeah, the dude on the Joe Rogan podcast said that this is bullshit. What do you think? Most people are, and most common, people are going to do what they're going to do, no matter what anybody says. You censor somebody, they're just going to bring, it's just going to bring more attention to it. Okay. So these people are going to do what they're going to do, no matter what. It's not going to change anything that they're going to, I mean, those people that stormed the White House and all that, the White House and all that, they were going to do that regardless.
Capitol
of what was
riot
going to happen.
or whatever.
Yeah, Capitol riot. Thank you. Yeah, they were going to do that no matter what. That was an inevitability because Trump was going to lose. But I'm just so tired of hearing about well, we need to censor this person, this person, this person. What are you going to do when they come and they censor you? What are you going to do when it gets to the point where? And I know this is way down the line, but it could happen, and it is a possibility. Is that China started out just censoring little things. Now they disappear people for months when they don't agree with the government or they say something bad about the government openly in public. There's millionaires over there with $1 million companies that get a lot of people watching them, and then they say something against the government, and what happens? They disappear. That's where it's gotten to there. It didn't start out like that, but it's slowly, like a fucking, what is it, the old expression, the frog in the water? If you put the frog in the hot water, he'll jump out. If you put him into cold water and turn the water up, he'll sit there and boil to death. That's what's going to happen. They're going to slowly and surely just take a little bit more, until you're all of a sudden like, whoa, I shouldn't be in this category. What do you mean you're censoring me now? So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. And most of these people that are talking about this censorship thing are on the extremes on both sides. And the people in the middle usually are like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of those things, I feel like I'm sitting mid-court and I'm just watching
it. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's where I feel I'm at with a lot of that stuff. Things are changing. There are things that since the beginning of COVID that have changed a lot, and I'm very thankful for a lot of people and a lot of those things. It's just very hard to tell where we're going right now. Bless you. It's very hard to know where we're going. And before I get to that, I just wanted to stop and take a moment to thank our sponsors, my wife and my daughter. She got me dad a card.
Oh, no way!
From Olivia. It's got a pencil and it says "Happy Valentine's Day, you will have," and that's Yoda, the man. Bam!
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I got that from my daughter. It's awesome. I come in here the other night. She drew a drawing. It's up there. You can't read it, but it says my little brother's name is Grayson Ray Dare.
Oh yeah.
See, that's Dad's girl.
Hi, Olivia.
TJ says hello.
Hey. And what I was actually, the reason why I was putting it there is for you to see it.
Mm-hmm. You did good. I got home and I saw it, and I smiled, and I smiled a lot, and I hung it up.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now I get to hang it back up. That's really awesome. Thanks. Sweet. Well, why don't you bring it over? You know. Sorry, I like working more than I have to. It's fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice job.
She did so
That's
good.
great.
She just said that was really great. Here, you got your dad. I'll take care of that later. Thank you. Dad's girl.
I stand here now.
You stand there now. That's great. Well, as long as you stand for something. Yeah. So back to where I was about to take it was, there are things that have changed since the beginning of COVID, and it is hard to tell where we're going. Obviously we don't want to get too excited about ditching masks or whatever the case may be. It's hard to tell. Me personally, I know everybody has their feelings. I caught COVID. And I can tell you that a lot of people that I know that have caught it have gone through what we've all discussed. It's no good. Mm-hmm. It's no fun. It's very rough. It can be very devastating. Just curious to see how it's going to go. They said we will be living with it. It'll be our new boosters will be, basically like flu shots and busy weekend. It'll be interesting. Yesterday, I went and jammed with my old band. That was a lot of fun. Then I went to an old bar that opened back up, grand opening with a new name.
Is that the place that caught the fire?
This is a different one. This one's an alley, and God, I hope they rebuild that one. But the old one, my buddy played down there. So I went down and hung out and I ended up singing a couple songs, probably like half a dozen or something. Mm-hmm. It's a great time. And then today we were going to record, but it was a long night not for me. I woke up ready to go, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Yep.
And, before COVID, that kind of stuff, people would be like, what do you mean the sky's blue? Oh, screw the sky, Now you're just like, man, whatever. Like, okay, so I ain't record today. That just means I get to record another day. That just means I have another goal. That's why I'm gonna hang this. This ain't bothering me a bit. That's something I gotta do up later.
Yep.
Goals, very very much. I got some proteins. Yeah, I got
whey protein. There you go.
I've been trying to get back on the saddle a little bit.
I got rid of my saddles.
I know tonight, after we're done here, I'm going to jump on the Xbox because my birthday's in a week, and my wife got me this beauty for my early birthday present.
Very nice, very nice.
I am truly
nice
excited.
Little blue controller.
I am truly excited. Dude, it's got a button in the middle on the bottom. That is capture. So
nice.
You can hurry up and hit that to get your screenshots and stuff. I can see that being a good thing, but I can see that being a problem.
Yeah.
Personally.
It'll fill up your memory fast.
Well, that and you go to hit a button, not paying attention, and you might tap that one instead. So, well, whatever. So I think it's awesome. I'm excited to try this out, which I will be very shortly. I don't know. Life has been a lot of things, man. But like you know, we have our good days, we have our dark days, we have our days that are just kind of whatever, But at least we're all entitled to, to our opinions and are able to do. You see those people, I just smile sometimes. I'm like, good for them. I'm glad they're that passionate about it. It's just after a while, it'd be nice to hear about it, something more important to me.
Yeah.
It's important to you. That's good. That's good for you. But it's not important to me, and I'm not seeking that right now.
Yeah.
But I also just got a new instrument I'll have to show you. It's not mine.
Oh, yeah?
I borrowed it from my buddy. It's a ukulele. It's a guitar and a ukulele together.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like a dual unit?
No, it's just it's like a ukulele.
Like a hybrid?
It's like a ukulele, like kind of like my banjo with 6 strings.
Yep.
It's kind of like that,
Mhm.
only it's a ukulele with 6 strings.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I borrowed that from my buddy because last weekend was it last weekend. Yeah, last weekend we got a couple more songs recorded or closer to being done for just or for whatever
Hmm.
for South of 90. Um, yeah, because that's my. I just want to record a bunch.
Hmm.
That's what why we were jamming yesterday, trying to hash out some of the old songs because can't wait to record them. That's what we're doing. We're not. We're
That's
not.
awesome.
I don't know if we'll ever actually take the stage again. Probably not. But at least
What,
we
South of 90?
no. Just circle
Oh,
yes.
just for yes.
Well, when we talked about it, we just man, we were when we discussed it, we all had certain things that we wanted to make sure that we were all well aware of. It's like we don't want it to be like a stressful negative thing, and we don't want it to be just everything. Like my family is my family, and that's important to me. And I'm not, like we used to practice like 2-3 days a week every week for years, and time is limited these days for a lot of people. So
Hmm.
we've all had those discussions and things like that, and we're all in agreement that we just want right now. We just want to record in the studio and give the people, you know, give the people what they want. Because it's gonna
What do
be
we want?
it's
Music. When do we want
music,
it?
yeah.
Oh.
But with that, I also still have South of 90, and I'm working very hard with that and trying to get that all recorded because I want to get everything set up with my through copywriting, and then I want to get it set up through my distribution thing so I can
Mhm.
get it up on all the platforms and do all that.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because those are that's just where I'm at. It's my life. You know, some people have worry about canceling things and cancel this
Mhm.
person, that person, or if how to say things correctly, and I just worry about recording music and getting it out there to listen to because it's like the music is like the podcast. They're my journal,
Mhm.
just time in my life and.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking about when I was doing, so that way when when I'm gone, then somebody will have something to look back and just be like, "Gosh, that dude was an idiot." But he is handsome, and I'll tell you what.
I can't wait to look back and go, man, that guy was right.
Yeah, he's like,
I wish we
man,
saw. Oh wait, no, we'll all be censored by then. This podcast
yeah,
won't be
yeah,
online. Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah. That's right. And that's what's funny is like I hate sometimes having to feel like you have to watch everything you say and everything you do because the whole reason of doing it all is to be able to just speak
Yeah.
freely and do all that, and then you're sitting here and you're like, can I say what color shirt I was wearing that day? Like, can
Well,
I? You know what I mean? Like you just have to think of everything. It's crazy.
yeah,
Like
Joe Rogan did say something about like, and it's kind of funny that they want to cancel, and I mean, is that you the best thing against hate speech or a differing opinion is good speech. Talk to him. Open communication. That's why his podcast is 3 hours long. Because if you look at it like a segment, like if you watched his whole, even just his, what was it, like 20 minutes that he did that little video, talking about how he's going to try and do better on the podcast.
Yep.
That I watched the whole thing, and then I went and I saw CNN was putting a little thing together on it. So I was like, you know what? I don't usually watch the news in general, but I want to see what they say and what they take out of that and how they clip that video so
Because
that
you're
it
getting to
fits a
see it
narrative.
firsthand.
I'm looking to see the narrative, and you
Mhm.
know what I mean. When you do that, and if you do that often enough, you start to see a pattern. They don't want to give you. They want this. They want the blinders. They don't want you to see the whole thing. They want you to see a segment of it because then they can say, okay, this is what's going on. Because they know 90% of the time, if they get you mad enough about this 10 seconds or this 12 seconds or 15 seconds or 30 seconds of a video, you're going to be so mad, you're not going to want to go and watch and listen to the rest of it. Why, if you don't like this 15 seconds or 30 seconds of it, why would you like the 33 hours of the rest of the video?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sure.
we're so focused on quick uploads, and that's why TikTok is so popular. It's what, a couple of minutes for a video.
Oh yeah. You mean
That's
how?
it. Attention span is like here. That's
Oh,
it. Our
dude.
attention span
I
is
think
here.
I think the highest you can go is like 3 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason for that. They know that the window for your attention is small. Anything that goes
Do
on
you like chicken nuggets?
beyond that, huh? Exactly. So, yeah, the attention span is so small now because this generation's growing up with so much thrown at
Instantaneous.
them, just thrown at them. It's not even their fault.
No.
It's a matter of. I mean,
We got
I'm looking at how
exactly
much.
what we wished for.
Yeah, we wanted instant access, but the problem is that this is what happens. I mean, and I kind of look at it like, okay, they control a narrative on a huge scale now. Imagine what they used to do when it was just the news, the 5 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news. Imagine, like, actually, it wasn't even the 11 o'clock news because TV turned off at midnight back then. When we were kids, TV was off. It was static. It was the bars. There was no TV after midnight. That's how little programming there was. And they still built companies off of that. I mean, come on. So it just it makes me wonder, like when the newspapers and the TV and things like that, and the news on TV, like how much stuff did they control narrative-wise then, or how easy it must have
how
been
much
for them to
actual
control? How easy it must have been to control the narrative because there was no differing opinions.
How much misinformation is
Yeah.
what our whole being is based off of.
If you look at a lot of news coverage, even now, like places, there's not a whole lot of original news stories, like people going out and hitting the pavement and doing like journalism, like real journalism. That's a small form. That's a small company format now. That's not the big company format. You know what I mean? Like all these news stations that they don't have. They have like one set of group of people that go out and accumulate all the stories and then write them and narrow them down, and then they feed them to this web of news stations and newspapers, and all of everybody that's down on your level that you're seeing is saying the exact same thing, reading from a monitor, seeing. They're not expressing their opinion. They're expressing the opinions they're expressing the narrative of, I don't want to say opinion because it's a narrative. It's a narrative of the actual top corporation, and that's all it is.
It's more of a presentation. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and back before it was, you had a journalist that actually he wrote that segment. Like he sat and wrote that. You know what I mean? It wasn't just something that was he obviously had to get it approved, but it was. He actually went out and talked to these people, and then he sat down at 5 o'clock and said, "Okay, I've written this story for this, and this is what I'm gonna present to the people today." It just doesn't seem like it's like that anymore. Out of all the clips, if there's a montage clip of, which is one of my favorites, of what is it? The sponsors for. Oh, I did that sponsor clip already. Yeah, of the Pfizer Corporation. Sponsorships for all over the news, which totally, I don't watch the news, but it never clicked. And think of that. That was right in front of our faces. Right in front of our faces.
Well, I also would like to clarify on something just in case anybody, for people to get that in depth, is when I say I have 3 apps on my phone that are all news, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're on there because I want to see what's going on in China or Europe or anything or what's going on like that. It's not political news that I get into. What I 9 out of 10 things on there is like sports, like especially like the Golden Knights. I get both Vegas Golden Knights news. I get PlayStation news. I get Xbox news. I get PC news. I get VR news. I get. So
it's not even like CNN. It's not like you have CNN on Fox.
I don't get that stuff.
I thought that's what you were talking about. That's why I was like, "Wow, dude, you really just want to have shitty day all day."
That's why I wanted to clarify what's going on. All right. So today's headlines.
That's hilarious.
This will be my segment. Here you go. Today's headlines in my quick feed. Live updates, latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the Omicron variant. NFL World reacts to Terry Bradshaw's honest admission. Spotify CEO shares his final decision on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan get a new cartoon. The James Webb Space Telescope just detected its first signal. Halo Infinite Spartans fly around like Titanfall players with the grappling hook technique.
Mhm.
How putting humans into hibernation could help astronauts travel to Mars. Penguins top prospects Poulin Leglaire on the way after immature hockey. Inside the NHL, anticipation is growing as Vegas hopes to hit its jackpot with Eichel, number 9.
Mhm.
And that's my top news.
Yeah, nothing on there is from Moscow's War. That's the average. That's the average person.
That's why I wanted to clarify to anyone, just in case, because like that's where my mind would have went to.
My mind, honestly, I thought I've known you for what 15 years, and like my when you said you had 3 news apps, I thought it was like CNN, Fox News, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, and that's why I was kind of like, wow, man, really? It's like. I didn't think you'd want to have like your day ruined like right out the gate every day.
Nah, man, I get a lot of updates about Apex Legends, a lot.
Ironically, there's a lot going on right now.
And you know how when you search for something or whatever, you start to get a little into something, everything starts blowing up. So yeah. I get a lot of crap about VR right now.
I'm very careful about what I search now. Because I'm very specific.
Well, make sure that you write everything very well too, because that predicted text will screw you. You know.
Yeah.
I went out there to try and find a certain type of corn, and all I was getting was porn because I spelled it wrong.
yeah. Corn. But I was looking for. You were looking for black corn.
Yeah.
Big black corn.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Because
Sorry,
I'm all about that life. So yes. Anyways. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh man.
I'm like you, man. I just, I'm just trying to stay under the radar, trying to record a bunch of crap. And people would think that, like, the more TikToks I do, the more podcasts I do, the more videos, I'm just trying to be out there doing more and, like, be more relevant. And yes, that is correct to a certain aspect, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's just what I do. Yeah. Before, I wasn't doing shit, so it gave me something to do. Yeah. I remember my mom when she was still alive. I remember asking her, I'm like, I know I was 27 when she passed away, but the moral of it is not that. It's that I remember sitting there and telling her, I'm like, man, I've been doing music for so long now at that point in my life. And that was, how many years ago? Yeah. I'm like, I've been doing music so long now that I don't even remember what I was like just as me. Not bands, not
before
yeah, like before that. Like what was I like? Like what was I doing? Like I can't. It's been so long that I don't remember. Now, if I didn't have my family in front of my face every day, I would feel the same way. Like I don't know what I would have been doing. With the music, I'm still doing the music, but the family, it makes it easy to always see something that keeps me grounded. So it's like still life and not just time. Like what was your life like before you started being a gamer?
I smoked a lot. No, I was a gamer back then too.
I mean, when you started, you've been doing it your whole life, basically.
Yeah, since I bought my first gaming system on my first job at 15.
Right.
I bought my Sega Genesis. After my first summer at the Beehive Tavern, being a dish dog. Because when I was growing up, like we were poor. Like we were on welfare. My mom was single mom, 5 kids. Trying to get some kind of college degree so she can better her life and her kids' life, and just working and working to try to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I remember like we never went hungry. Christmases weren't like huge deals. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Maybe I think that's why I'm not really all that big into Christmas. The way I am. I just kind of it's just another day.
Well,
But
I'm the same way. We didn't have nothing. That's why I
yeah,
have so much now. Like that's why I have all this stuff because I didn't. We had nothing.
yeah. If I want something, I work so I
Mm-hmm.
can get the money up, and then I buy it because that's I went without for so long as a kid. As
And I
far as
mean,
like the,
back when you
the
were a
fun
kid,
stuff.
because it was way before me. Did they even have like child labor laws and stuff like that?
No, this is before all that. But fucking dick. Um, that's okay. Um, I was so. Oh well, let me finish what I was. What was this?
Mm-hmm.
My train of thought was So like when I got my first job,
Washing
I
dishes.
went and I went and I worked and I worked and I worked and I saved my money and I went and I was like, you know what? We had a Nintendo. My mom had gotten a Nintendo like third hand, and I loved it. Um, and I remember going over my cousin's house originally before we got the Nintendo, or my cousin's house, and I played. We had to sleep over there, and I got to play the Atari, the original Atari, and I loved it. I had such an awesome time. Like we stayed up for like the whole weekend playing that thing,
Those games
and
were
then
just entertaining.
yeah, so that got me into gaming, the Atari, and then so my mom one Christmas was I think she might have gotten it from like Toys or Tots. I think I'm not 100% sure. I was pretty young, but she got a Nintendo for the family. It wasn't for like just a kid. It was all the kids. It was all 5 of us. That was our gift. Our big gift was the Nintendo. It had like a couple of games, a couple of controllers. So um, which was awesome. We loved it. We sat around as a family, like all of us. My mom would watch, and all 5 kids would sit there and we'd play and we'd switch, and everything. So finally, I was like, when I got my first job, I was like, I want the Sega Genesis. I want that 16-bit. You know what I mean? Like everybody, all the people I knew had like Super Nintendo. My best friend down the street, he had Super Nintendo, and I'd go over his house and I'd play that. And then so I was like, I want to be different. I want to have something that not anybody else has. So I was like, no, none of my friends have the Sega. I was like, I'm working. I'm gonna get paychecks. Saved up my money. Went down and bought that. Bought Sonic. Bought um, what other games did I buy? But yeah, so I bought a couple of games and I just played, and I shared it. Played in the same spot next to the Nintendo. Everybody could play. We only had one TV, so I guess it really didn't have much of a choice. But so played
And
next to
hooking
the
them up
Nintendo.
was a lot harder than
Oh yeah, you had to
systems
plug.
are
You had to
now.
unplug everything. Yeah, and not
Oh
only that,
yeah.
it was
Oh,
it
you
was
had
it
to
was
wind it on
UH. It
the
was the
cable.
UHF. Yeah, the
Yeah, you had
UHF
to wind and
VHF.
wind and
We
wind
didn't
and
have
wind and
cable.
wind and wind. Yeah.
There was no cable, I don't think, back then. Or
Even
maybe it was just
before.
starting. It was satellite TV. I think was what you had outside. Was the option outside of the UHF VHF. I
Mm.
don't know if they had
Oh
kids.
yeah,
Kids.
I know what you're talking about. The
Where you
one
had
with
to,
the two
where you had
prongs
the two,
with the
you had the
switch
four
slider
screws. You
and
had
stuff.
UHF up top. You had VHF down
Yep.
below.
Nope, I remember
Um,
that now. Yeah.
these kids were the options for your 3 channel and your 9 channels of TV.
That's what Channel
That's
3
it.
was so important for. People didn't,
Yeah,
this
you had to put it on channel 3 in order to see what was coming
yeah,
through.
this generation,
So,
you gotta think of like that as an input, except for it was a cable channel as well.
yeah,
It
like
was crazy how that's how they did it.
your TV channels on your UHF, I think, went up to 12, and then your VHF were like 30s and whatnot, like 30s to 40s or something. But it was like you were off antenna, so you could only get local. So it was whatever like channel 34 news. So you'd go to the news channel 34, and hopefully they had news on. It wasn't 24 hours. It was either they were doing news or there was nothing. But but yeah, so we didn't grow up with much. So I when I work and I work hard, like to think I work hard. I buy what I want to buy. I don't mess around.
Nope, because if you're gonna get it, it's what you wanted. That's what you worked for.
You know, that's the way it's got to be. You know, people, they're everything's just so convenient these days. Everything you
Yeah.
want is instantaneous. It's just amazing, really. It's crazy,
Oh yeah.
but it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
back in the day, you wanted to get a video game, you had to wait till the store was open. There was no at like midnight, 1 o'clock downloading a video game. You had to stand in line, pick out the cartridge you want, bring it to the counter, buy it. Um,
they talk
and,
about the difference between our
and no
generation.
updates.
Yeah, and when you bought the game, what you see is
That
what you
was it.
get.
That was the final product. If there was a glitch or a game-breaking bug in
Hmm.
it, it was it. there
Yeah, there was no going around it at all.
was no day one patch. Day one patch is when they made. It was when they made the cartridge.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Yep.
Seriously, I think it's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
It's funny. Like I was thinking about like the changes that my grandmother has seen, all the things that she's seen, new technologies that she's seen over her lifetime. I mean, when my
Mm,
grandmother was a kid, they didn't have a toilet or running water in the house.
holy
Yeah,
crap!
like they had an outhouse. They did their laundry in a bucket full of water on a
Right,
scrub board.
right.
You know,
The real
by
deal.
hand, and then they hung it out to dry. And let me tell you, in New England, clothes don't dry so fast outside,
Hmm.
especially during the winter.
Well, I can see that being an accurate statement.
But yeah, and then just think like, okay, she saw the telephone come into prominence. She saw they had lamps, oil lamps, when my grandmother was a kid. No little light switch. They had to fucking set something on fire to see.
Yep,
Like they had to burn shit in order to see.
that's funny
Um,
and
you
accurate.
know, and the telephone, the TV, the microwave. I mean, it's crazy. Like the oven. Like, it's it's nuts when you think about like in
It's
that
a whole different,
in 80
yeah, a whole
in
different
84 years
lifestyle, man.
over just 84 years. So imagine, you know,
Mm.
I mean, what we've seen. I mean, the explosion of the internet in 20 years. How it's changed. If you look at the internet when I was 20, in like Yahoo chat rooms, and people were like, "This isn't going to go anywhere. What are you going to do? You're just going to sit online in chat rooms, you nerd." Like now
Yes,
we're in our own private chat room recording it, and then we're going to upload the conversation. If we wanted to, we can edit it, and tweak it so it's just right. I don't do that. I just do a little editing on the ends. But
I don't even
yeah,
do that. I don't
and
do.
then and
I do
and
no
then they
editing
upload it.
now. I'm just like
Well,
whatever.
it's just that if I put like a closing card on and opening, all
Hmm.
that stuff.
Which is
I don't actually
awesome.
edit the video itself, but yeah, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy what we have at our fingertips nowadays. And
It's effortless.
mhm. I don't know,
Honestly,
but yeah, I'm. It's a great thing, but again, I think it's a lot to take in such a short time. Our brains to try and multitask. People are like, "Oh, I can multitask." I mean, who was it? I was talking to somebody yesterday at work, Chris, I think, and he said he came home, his kid was playing a video game, and then he had his phone with a video up, and he was watching the video while he was playing the video game. Like legitimately, this is what he was doing. He was like, when he came in, he's like, "Hold on, Dad," you had to turn the video off and pause it so you know what I mean, like. It's it's nuts. Like how much stuff you could have available to you at one time, and to try and be able to process that, our brains just aren't quick enough. They're not. You can't text and drive. It's that we're not sophisticated enough. Some people say like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. I can drive and text. It's easy. Two things." No, you can't. Because in that 20-second span or 30-second span that you're trying to type something out, you're looking away from the road, you're gonna freaking smack somebody. You know, our brains just can't do it. It can't take in two different types of information at one time and be able to separate them, file them, process them, and react to them in the same speed that it would be able to if you were just focusing on it. Maybe eventually we'll be able to. Maybe eventually we'll be able to, have glasses on that have 3 different videos going and, an eye swipe first. Ooh, that would be a cool technology. Can you imagine if you had a headset real quick and you were able to type with your eyes by swiping your eyes over the letters, so it tracks your eyeballs? Like you were texting and you were just
crazy.
Because you have your swipe on your keyboard, right? So imagine that.
Well,
that idea.
Let me tell you,
copyrighted.
let me tell you that is definitely a great idea, because if you think of like with the VR, you can use your hands to do it. So why they'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
But yes,
just have eyeball tracking.
And you know what? Then you know what that's going to turn into. That's going to turn into, what do they call that? A lawsuit, because there's going to be that person that doesn't have any control of their eyes, and then they're going to complain that they're not able to use
unfair.
it. It's not.
Well, they'll have. What they do is they'll make. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, going to be a business person nowadays. Like, it's crazy. There's got to be.
Well, I mean, think about it. Try to be a business person in America today, so where the government can just say, you can't open this big lobbying company. This company with all these lobbyists for us and pay us lots and lots of money on the side. They can open. I know they do the same thing you do, but you can't open. They're essential. You're not.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
They can just take away your thing. They can take away your employees' jobs. They can take away your livelihood through no fault of your own. And that's okay. But, Walmart, Target, BJ's, all these other companies that are huge, Amazon, they're all allowed to still run. How is that logic? How is that? Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
So now instead of having people being able to go a lot of different places, now you got them all going to the same place. I wonder if that's safe. Sorry. All right. Ending now. Before I get into a rant on it.
Which is fine. I get it. Yeah. So you got me thinking a lot about the way things used to be with TVs and all that now. And like the UHF, the VHF, you have the ones, I remember the TVs that had the screws, you had to screw the two on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. And then I remember like the coax and all that stuff, and then they had the adapters to do both. So it's had me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So I remember not too long ago I hooked up a digital antenna for a buddy of mine at work, and I plugged it into his TV. I could have sworn that it was HDMI. I could be wrong, because I was trying to find and see if they had one here, just in general online or anything. But something that's crazy that I see are clear, or what are they called? An HD TV antenna key. So it literally is just like an antenna that you plug right into the coax cable on the back of your TV, and they supposedly pick up like 50 miles to 100 miles for $10. That's cheap. But that's where we are with technology. Is it's like everything is just so, like, you remember how back in the day we had to run antennas outside, and we had to run all the coax cables.
And you have a 6-foot antenna on your roof.
On your roof that you had to worry about not blowing away in a windstorm. You had to worry about all that, and that was only
guess what?
That was only to get the local channels.
Yeah, and if you had a snowstorm, like, I don't know, New England always has every year. Guess what? You had to go onto the roof to clear it off.
Like, oh my goodness! And now you can get a digital antenna for your TV to pick up a bunch of channels 50 to 100, 250, 300 miles away for like $20. Like,
dude, on my phone, Samsung gives you a free app for TV. Just just regular TV like you would have on your TV with news, news, Bob Ross, sports, local sports or whatever, TV shows, talk shows. It's just like if you would flip to your channel, your cable, commercials, all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
I barely ever used it. Like once in a great while, I'll check it, see if there's anything on there I'll watch. But I'm not really big into TV anymore. I haven't been in a long time.
Honestly, live TV. I know we pay for it, but I don't either. I just don't.
There's so much out there to consume for content. I got my streaming services. I got the Book of Boba Fett is on. Actually, I just watched the latest episode yesterday morning before work, and then
I know I have to get on there and watch those, but I need to get that on.
If you're a Star Wars fan, what they're doing on Disney Plus right now for the series, they're like the TV series, Mandalorian, and the Book of Boba Fett, are awesome. Like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the two guys are basically doing most of the writing and whatnot for it, and they're bringing in selected directors that have the same passion, are just blowing it, killing it. They're just blowing it out of the water. In my opinion, I'm an old school Star Wars fan, and I've consumed all of the TV shows except for Rebels. I haven't watched much of the Rebels TV series, but they're bringing in stuff from all the catalog of current and old Star Wars content. And they're destroying it out there, man. They're doing such a good job. I mean, they've got Disney money behind them, so it's kind of probably makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, having daddy. Yeah, I was making sure this stuff's all working on my Fire Stick. I love my Fire Stick.
But yeah, I don't know.
Convenient.
There's just so much content.
I know I got to watch that. That's why I was like, what? I got to make sure that I'm already signed in, which I am, because that's a show like Amber and I actually talked about it earlier today. We're like, we have not watched one episode of that yet, and I know it's going to be great. I know it's going to be awesome, just because of, like you said, the lore, and because anything with Star Wars, they knock it out of the park all the time.
Outside of the last 3 movies,
in my opinion,
yeah. Third movie was the best out of the 3, but I just not a big. I didn't get invested in the characters. I felt like it was just too much going on. Like the story was just all over the place. That's another story. That's a thing for another day. But yeah, just so much good stuff. And then you've got the whole Marvel side with the Marvel series that's going on. I just finished watching because I was sick for so. You believe it or not, I was sick for so long. I didn't even watch anything. My Netflix is canceled. I haven't even watched any of Netflix. I was like, I'm not watching it. Yeah, I didn't have you on Netflix, did I?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. I was like, what's that about that? I was like, oh, wait a minute. But, yeah, I haven't watched
I'd already sent you hate mail. I'd have been like, listen.
Good thing I don't check my email.
Listen, bro.
No. But, yeah, no, I've narrowed down so much stuff because there's so many things out there, bro. But
well, everything's just so widely available now. But now that everything,
plus I'm working 56 hours a week. So
well, the problem is now that everything is so damn readily available, a lot that it's I have no desire to watch a lot of those things anymore because I burn myself out on watching that stuff. Yeah, no, I was trying to make sure I had everything I needed here for that Disney Plus because
you guys are still on that.
That one we do use, yeah.
Yeah, I kept Disney because I was like, I like a lot of the stuff that's on there. Plus, you guys are on there, and my sister's on there, so my niece Kayla's at college, and she said she watches it a lot. So I was like, I can't.
Well, good. Well,
Even if I didn't watch it, I would
if you
still
ever
think about
need
it.
us to pay the bill,
No,
suck it up, Buttercup.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why I cut. That's why I cut
And just to be
everything else out.
just to be very clear, we live together under
Yeah.
the same household. That's why we were sharing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just so you guys know.
he's my brother. So
Yeah, we're friends. We're brother. We're bros. He calls me Brosif, and I call him Brody. Olivia, what's up, kid?
Good talk.
I was just doing gym.
You were just doing gym?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Like the packet.
Oh,
told me what
your
to do.
packet for work for school because they had snow days and 2 snow days this week because of the weather.
And we have to do that packet.
That's right. You sure did. Did you get
How
it
much
done
snow
yet?
did you guys got?
I don't know.
Um,
Well, one paper we can't do.
I know at my house got like a foot on Thursday
Yeah.
night, Friday, yeah. But we already got a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you.
Yeah, I saw the news on what you guys were going to be getting. I'm like, holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sent you that picture of me at the end of my driveway, right?
Oh yeah, dude, that's crazy. It's crazy. You
The
know,
plow finally came at like 8:30 that night.
this must be how Joe Rogan feels when he's recording his podcast and he puts them up like corporate America's watching them.
Better not say what I think you're going to say.
Because I was going to tell you what my mom used to say about snowstorms.
So babies are made?
Olivia,
What?
what are you doing?
I'm bored.
You're bored. Okay, well, why don't you go sweep them off the parking lot?
No.
Or, why don't you go shovel the driveway? Okay.
Well, fuck.
Glad we had this conversation. I, however, in the middle of doing something, so. Yeah.
I'm watching it.
See? Corporate America. Well, you know what? I would like to say thanks to everyone for hanging out and checking out the podcast. TJ, it's great to see you. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. You look about the same. No, very proud of you. Next time we talk, I'll be a year older.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be good. And everything else you and I we can discuss off air. So yeah, check out some things this year. That's what I'm trying to do. Live a little. So
Check out South of 90 on SoundCloud and stuff.
Yeah, and all that. You got anything you want to say before we shut her down?
I don't know. Just stay happy, stay healthy, and try to live your best life. I think someone said that. I know. Some smarter guy than me.
It's just missing something. I don't know what that is. Oh. Deuces.
Deuces. There it is.
Later, y'all.